and welcome to NewsX World. I'm Ellie Richardson. We are currently on day 3, the final day of NXT, and I am being very well joined. AINDRIAS, MUIMHNEACHÁIN, thank you so much for joining us here and speaking to us today.
Thank you, delighted to be part of it.
Brilliant. So my first question to you is, what excites you the most about forums like NXT, and what kind of conversations or collaborations do you hope it will spark, and how does it feel to participate in NXT?
Goodness, there's so much crammed into it, and you know it's moving from one. It's such a range of topics, and it's moving quickly from one to the other. I was talking about food. There was somebody coming on immediately about AI, about law. The variety and just the way that so much could be crammed in, and really learning from it as well. It's a fantastic conference, and you know, I think it's a great opportunity for people to set forward ideas for where they see things moving, and where we can get the technology to support us on that, a role for AI, and maybe to steer it in the directions that we need, or that suits us, rather than it steering us.
Absolutely. And we also mentioned earlier together how you network so much here. You meet so many interesting people. Who's been standout to you who you've met here?
There's been so many. Look, I can't name one over the other. Look, it's the range of people from so many different countries. Had the opportunity over the last couple of days, for example, to meet with people from New Zealand who had been using the wellbeing framework, which is something that I would like to see us adopting more and more in Ireland and in other countries. Just the range and the opportunity to chat afterwards, and to network and to tease out ideas with people. And it's not just here at the conference. It's so much more of it happens after the event, where you're catching up with people at the hotel afterwards and before over breakfast. It's just the connections, the networking, the ideas, and teasing it out. It's fabulous. And when you're out of your own setting then as well, and there's no politics, it's on a human level, and you're connecting better with people, I think.
And that's so lovely to hear as well. And you can see it as well when everyone's sitting on their tables, and like there's a mix of everyone there. It is so lovely to see. So we're in a rapidly changing world. And also here you can, like you said, you can listen to people's frameworks from different countries and want to take them back with you. Where do you see the greatest opportunities emerging in the years ahead?
Very obviously has to be in the AI sector, and having it as a tool to support decision making. I think there've been a lot of very constructive presentations about how it could how we need to, you know, how it could almost become something of itself, and that we need to kind of get comfortable with it, and I suppose give it a conscience. Well, maybe not so much give it a conscience, but just kind of keep it as a mother role, kind of looking after people rather than taking over role.
Absolutely. And India is playing an increasingly important role on the global stage. How do you see its influence evolving in the coming decade?
Massive. Like there's a confidence. The first thing that hits you is, yes, this huge population, and that's going to be an advantage. But there's a confidence. There's they're going forward. There's no baggage. They have people are entrepreneur. They'll introduce themselves as that, and it's out there to do it for India and for their community. And it's a growing confidence, I would say. And gosh, wake up world! These guys are moving fast.
And how would you say what the future holds for India and Ireland together?
Positive, definite, definite. And I mean, like, it's not just the likes of the recent trade agreement that gives us opportunity to trade further in. Um, I think we have that deeper history, and like very obvious maybe from colonial time, but going back deeper than that as well. And like, um, you know, the connections are there. We're aiming to strengthen them now with the likes of here at conference like this. Our ministers will be back and forth over the last number of months as well. That trade agreement with the European Union, and it's just going to be one step after another in building it, and I would see it very positive.
And we spoke about how you heard New Zealand's wellbeing framework and how you'd like to take that back to Ireland. What stood out for you for that? What did you?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
starting into that.
What are you doing with it? Like, talk to me about that. Talk to me about the framework.
Yeah, well, I suppose the basic principle on it is that we live in a society as opposed to an economy, and that we would be looking for the values of society to be steering public expenditure and steering government, rather than cold hard GDP, unemployment, GNI star, and economic indicators like that. Values such as societal values such as the availability of housing, the quality of our housing, biodiversity, educational attainment, and just the connection and community, values like these that would be important in our society, that they would steer the budget. And we're seeing it over the last year or two, that the government now publish the wellbeing framework as part of the budget each year. It hasn't totally embedded right across all the departments yet. There's still a lot of work to do on that. But the minister now expects to get asked questions about how the wellbeing framework is going to influence his budget. It's soaked in, and it's going to spread from there and steer funding. And I think learning from the New Zealand experience has been helpful. Their elections kind of were a setback to it, so it's not an easy ride. It's something that can and should make a real difference in spending, and it's one that I'd like to see pushed on further.
That's lovely to hear. And my final question is, from your perspective, what makes India such an exciting and promising place for growth and innovation within your field?
I'm coming from an agriculture perspective. I'm chair of the Agriculture and Food Committee in Ireland, and it may not be as obvious an area for to connect on, but we have very similar challenges and opportunities as well. Getting people involved in agriculture in any growing or expanding society. People have so many other options that they could go to and be guaranteed a 9 to 5 or a paycheck at the end of each month. That's not agriculture. And, generational renewal is an issue in so many growing societies. And, we have common ground. Food is the basic. Any economic growth is going to be based on food as well. Napoleon famously said an army marches on its stomach, and India's army is, and India's society are driving forward as well. We're all going to march on our stomach, and food is going to be a critical role in it. Without farming, there isn't a future, and without younger people, there isn't a future in farming.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Andrias, for joining me here. That's all we have time for on NewsX World. Stay tuned for more NXT content.
Hello, I'm Rashan Gidwani from NewsX World. Currently,